Hi cozy people, so today we're going to be talking about things I thought would make my life easier but didn't, in the hopes that I can save you from buying these things yourself and realising it didn't work out. So the first one I bought was brown dry shampoo. This one is what a lot of people use if they have hair loss, particularly if your hair is like my hair. I had so much to begin with that even though I've lost 2/3 of my hair, you may not know just from looking at it because I've got a lot left, but the top, it's very obvious from the top. So for today, I've just put a hat on, but I tried this brown shampoo and I was recommending this to people before I tried it myself. And the thing is, it does look pretty good and there is a knack to it.
You spray this on, it colours it in dark brown or whatever your hair colour is, and then you spray hairspray onto a tissue and then you wipe that on because it's too matte on its own.
That looks great, and the hairspray hack gets around the issue of it looking too matte and dull and almost like greyish. So it looks great, but the problem is that it's quite irritating on your head, like it's quite itchy. I find that whenever I use dry shampoo, my head is quite itchy, and that's fine with normal dry shampoo because you itch your head and nothing happens. But as soon as you touch your head, when you've got this on, you know, your hands come off with all of the brown stuff on. Even if you're really gentle about how you're itching your head, or sometimes I try and just like sort of pat my head to make the itchiness go away, and it still comes off on your hands. And for me, I've got a thing about people having like dirty nails, like I can't stand it. And yeah, that will be your whole day. Most likely, if you have the dry shampoo, you will have dirty looking nails all day because it just gets on your nails. And like, even if it's windy and you sweep the hair out of your face, then you're going to end up with this brown on your hands. And so for me, I never use this. So for hair loss and bald spots, like in photos, yes, it's a good idea. And especially if you go over it with some hairspray. But for like actual daily life, I don't think this is the one for a lot of people. Second up, it's the robot vacuum. Now I know that I recommended this to a lot of people. I mean, I did a video about it, so I know a few people bought it, but the robot vacuum is great for a lot of people. It's just not good. It's just not good if you have, I don't know how to say it. It's not necessarily a messy home, but if you have a home where you've got shoes on the floor, for example, I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you've got a small home where things are quite, you know, you have no option but to have things on the floor, the robot vacuum is going to come along and it's just going to keep getting stuck. It's going to, like, any shoelaces or, you know, anything with strings, even bits of paper, it's all going to get caught up and it beeps. And then I just found that mine was beeping so much, and basically mine would just get stuck so many times, and it just stops and starts beeping until you go and press a button on it. For an able-bodied person, that's probably fine, and it probably still would save you energy, but for someone like me, it wasn't making any sense. My flat that I lived in was too small, there was too much stuff on the floor, and it just wasn't a good solution for me. But as I say, just because it didn't work for me doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. And actually a lot of people love this and it does work really well for them. So yeah, it's more about like your personal living situation, whether it's going to work for you or not. As I say, for me it was a regret, but for someone else it probably wouldn't be. The next one is a cleaning product, and there's certain tasks that I just can't do. So we'll get onto that. But one of them was that I didn't have the energy to clean my taps to have shiny taps, and really wanted shiny taps. And a hack that came up was using white vinegar spray, because this is supposed to do a lot of the work for you. There's a few ways you can do it. You can just spray it on, or you can soak like a cloth or kitchen roll on the taps, let it do the work, and you wipe it off, and it sort of, as I say, does the job for you and gives you sparkling, shiny taps, which is like a faucet if you're in America. However, as someone who is sick a lot, and sick has acid in it, vinegar is also, I mean, I think it's an acid. Now I'm thinking of chemistry and carboxylic acids. But anyway, this hits too close to home. The smell of it reminds me of sick, and I can't stand it, and I'm like dousing it off to get the smell out, can't get the smell out of the house, and all in all, just this wasn't the product for me, especially in the way that I was using it, because I was letting it sit and do the work for me. It meant it just smelled too bad, so I don't use this anymore. I did have someone who was using it, so that's how it's gone, but I haven't used it myself. I don't like this. It reminds me of vomit. And then going on to cleaning tasks that I can't do, I just flat out can't mop floors. Like I thought I may be able to do it every like couple of months or something, but no, I can't mop floors. And then my friend said to me, maybe a steam mop will help you because it does the work for you. So again, I thought it would just glide along the floor and be brilliant, but no. For me, it is not the one, and it made life harder. For one, it plugs into the wall, so every time you change area, you have to unplug it and plug it back in. Also, on my floors, they are wheelchair accessible floors, and I don't know what type of flooring I've got, but I'm thinking possibly they are ever so slightly more grippy than normal floor, and so this mop was just getting stuck, and I was having to put so much effort in, and I didn't even manage to clean a tiny patch of the floor. And then I had someone clean the floors for me once. That was a few weeks ago, and they really didn't get on with it either. They said it was just, for them also, they said it was too much work. But as with all of these products, they exist for a reason. They wouldn't exist if they didn't help someone. And as I say, my friend that recommended it, she gets on really well with hers. So for some people do like it. The fact it reaches such high temperatures and is disinfecting is another great pro of it, but for me, steam mop is not the one, and to be honest, I'm probably going to have to look into selling it, and I've just thrown away the box, which is really annoying. Basically, the plan was to get a carer and the carer to use it, but when someone tried it a few weeks ago, even they didn't like it, so actually I'm not gonna put that on a carer, because it seems like my floor, I guess mine aren't smooth enough. Next up is a bit of a niche one, and that was a spider catcher. So this is like a stick.
Like this long, I can't find it right now. It has a trigger like this, I don't know whatever you'd call it, like a handle trigger, I don't know. And it has bristles on the end like this, which open and close. So the idea is you can be at a distance from the spider, and you can open the bristles around the spider and get the spider by going like this with your other hand. Well, actually, no, that would be the bristles, so it only takes one hand.
Anyway, this doesn't work. So basically, I tried it on a medium spider, a big spider, and a small spider, and it didn't catch any of them. I didn't expect it to catch the smaller ones, but it really couldn't catch the larger ones either. And actually, a lot of the time, the spider would get scared and either fall or move, and it would be in an even harder position to reach the spider. I really hoped this would work, because I just don't have the energy to do the jar and a bit of paper method like a lot of the time, and especially if it's up high, I can't be climbing and stuff anymore to reach the spiders. So yeah, I will just say that didn't work. I also had spiders getting injured with it, so it didn't help me, didn't help the spiders, and that one was something that did not make my life easier, and I thought it would. Next up, I'm aware that to an able-bodied person, this may sound a bit lazy, but at the same time it went viral, so I think, I don't like the word lazy, because I think we all have a nature to want to simplify life and to make life less exhausting, even if you are able-bodied. But it was using glycolic acid, this one is from The Ordinary, on your underarms, and people were claiming that when they used this, they were only having to wear deodorant every few days rather than every day. Or some people were saying that they were only wearing deodorant once a week. Now, when your energy is severely limited and you just feel ill all the time, the idea of having one less step in your daily routine is really, what's the word? Not desirable. Appealing. Yeah, it's really appealing. So I bought this thinking, okay, well maybe I won't have to wear deodorant every day. Which now that I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, of course it didn't work. It didn't work. And also this was really, really irritating on my underarms as well. I was so uncomfortable, and then putting deodorant on top of your underarms that have irritation was even worse. And I have eczema, and yeah, this didn't help the eczema out in any way. Yeah, it was just a failure in a lot of ways. And once my underarms had healed from this, because when I say irritation, it was actually quite bad, and then it flared the eczema up and all sorts. And on top of that, it didn't it didn't stop me needing deodorant. So I would say save yourself the hassle and possibly some pain, and don't try this one out.
So yeah, just quickly, I don't know if I summarised that enough, but it went viral, particularly on TikTok, because I think it kills the bacteria, something like that. So yeah, it went viral on there. Some people had success, but many people didn't, and actually they had lots of irritation from it.
And there were dermatologists like warning against it as well, and they were saying there is science for it to work, but in reality it's not really worth the irritation, and you can end up with hyperpigmentation where you get dark underarms. So even though it can also be used to lighten your underarms, if you get it wrong and use it too frequently, and that will differ from person to person. Someone may use it and get great results, someone else could end up with like really dark underarms from it. So yeah, use caution if you do try that one. And lastly, with my noise sensitivity, which is just horrendous all the time, and then where I live it is very, very challenging, as I've shared, I always wear something like loop earplugs, and then over the top of that I wear these ear defenders. I believe they're from Screwfix, and they're about £2, which is like under $3. So these are really cheap, and these are amazing. I don't regret buying these, and I'm so grateful to the person that recommended them to me. So the product I regret buying is actually standard. I had this written in a few ways: standard, fancy, or heavy duty ear defenders. I had two of those pairs. One was standard, one was heavy duty, and they were just so heavy, and like just the pain on my head, it was so bad. Like, and I used to think to myself, okay, it'll be okay because I'll be lying down in bed, so like surely I won't really have the weight of it because I'll be lying down. But I have to say, like, I just couldn't bear it. Like, the pain was just agonising, and I had to take them off because the pain from those standard ear defenders was just as bad as the pain from the noise. Oh, it's a hard one. Like, the pain of both was just agonising, and actually I ended up I couldn't tell what was more painful, so I'd be on off, like flicking between the two types of pain. Whereas these, like, yeah, and I wish I knew what to tell you to search for something like this in your country. So here, they're just from a company called Screwfix, and they are the cheapest ones they own. And I was like really sceptical because I don't think they were even £2. I think they was like £1.80 when I bought them, or £1.60. And I was thinking, like, I couldn't understand how you could even make ear defenders for £1.60. But what it is that they're so cheap, there's so little material on it, they are so light, and the like clamping pressure is pretty low as well. So yeah, these are an absolute lifesaver, and thank you so much to the person who recommended them to me. They followed me on Instagram, so I don't know if they're here, but that was an absolute game changer, and I'm so grateful to them for recommending them, because yeah, the other ones were just so difficult and so hard. No, I had brain fog then. I was trying to say the other ones were just so painful. Those were the 7 purchases that I would weigh up this information. And as I say, some of them may work for you, but those were 7 products that didn't work for me. I thought they'd make life easier, but most of them did the opposite. If you have anything like this, share them below so that we can learn from your mistakes. And yeah, I hope this helps someone, and maybe there's something you're considering and you now know that it probably isn't going to be for you, or I hope this helps in some way. And as I said, share any of yours below. I'll be interested in reading that. That's another thing as well, like it doesn't make you unlucky when it happens. This is all part of life. Like, You don't know until you buy stuff. So yeah, if you have any you want to share, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.